Okay, so this video is about which is a better parent for a child, a man or a woman, so father or mother. So first, we'll get this out of the way. The best situation for the children to be in, borne out by the studies, is a two-parent household. Ideally, that's what you want to have, right? So there's no debating that. But in the event that the relationship doesn't work out and the child's going to grow up with either the father or the mother, the data shows they're better off growing up with the father. So nearly 80% of all people in prison grew up in single mother households, and they looked at the percentage of children that go to prison from two-parent household or households where it's just the father, and there's no statistical difference. So it doesn't matter if the woman's there or not, as long as the father is present, the child has the lowest rate of going to prison between those two circumstances. So I'm not saying the woman doesn't add value, the mother doesn't add value, she does. But as far as avoiding the child essentially becoming a criminal, has no impact at all on the actual data. And so the reason I bring this up is you'll see a lot of situations where most times the woman gets primary custody of the child, and there are some instances where women will keep the children from the fathers because the relationship didn't work out of spite, revenge, whatever. They won't allow the child to have access to their father, or they try to make it as difficult as possible, and that's not really in the best interest of the child. I've met a few people that were denied access to their dad their entire childhood and didn't meet them until they were adults, and kind of heard their side of the story and grew to have a long, strong relationship with the father, and then kind of despised the mother for preventing that when they were growing up, because it causes a child a lot of emotional damage not having access to both parents. Now, if the father's violent or on drugs, or what I mean, that makes sense. But I mean, if absent those things, it's unnecessary trauma to the child to prevent them from having a relationship with the father. And so then you have to ask, what's the motivation behind that? Is it so? If you look at the mother's love, right? Pure love for a child should want what's in the best interest of the child. So depriving them from access to their father is intentionally harming that child psychologically in order to give yourself the satisfaction of revenge or carrying out the grudge you personally have against the father. And is that really pure love? If any decision is made regarding your child and their father, and the guiding force is not what's in the best interest of the child, then is that really like healthy parenting? And so I think if more women knew that, as far as the data on how valuable it is to have the father in their life, maybe they would think differently. And I wonder why courts don't think differently, because technically, based on the facts, the child would be better off being awarded to the father and having the woman be a weekend mother, or having her pay child support and the father raise them, as far as the child's chances of becoming a tax-paying citizen and a contributor to society. They're far better off with the father based on the data. And so it's a wonder why, if it's not based on data and facts, why courts tend to lean towards the mothers. And so hopefully some mother out there can see this video or pass it along, but Google the research yourself. You're doing a great disservice to your child, harming them and dramatically increasing their chances of becoming a criminal or having adverse effects in adulthood by depriving them of access to their father, if that's something you're doing. So kind of weigh out what's more important to you, the well-being of your child and your love for them, or satisfying some selfish need for revenge or grudge. Until next time, be different.